they do.
And is it ultimately Mr. Katzenberg's decision as to whether it would ultimately be made into a movie?
Yes.
Did you have any discussions with Mr. Katzenberg wherein you expressed that you thought it would be a good thing to have your Kung Fu Panda idea made into a movie?
Yes, I believed in the project. I believed that it would be a hit, and I would advocate for it, especially when other people criticized it.
And you've told us about the criticisms of it already, correct?
Yes.
When did you have those conversations with Mr. Katzenberg?
Well, whenever a draft of the script came in, or a draft of the treatment, we would read it. And by we, I mean myself, Lance, and Jeffrey. And we would discuss it. We would talk about whether or not the particular draft that we were reading achieved the goals of what we wanted that particular draft to achieve. Mm-hmm. If it did, then we would progress to the next level, next step. If they didn't, we would discuss whether or not we would have to engage a new writer, or what notes we could then give to the writer if we didn't want to fire them, to make it something that we would be happy with.
Okay, but I'm trying to, I might not have understood. You might have answered, so I apologize if you did. But let me ask it this way. How many conversations did you personally have with Mr. Katzenberg wherein you advocated that your Kung Fu Panda idea should progress further towards the goal of becoming a movie?
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that anytime there was movement on the project, meaning a draft would come in from a writer, at any point, you're always assessing whether or not the project is moving forward or not moving forward, and figuring out, should it move forward, and if it should move forward, how best to move it forward. Yeah. That to me is, for me to say that, hey, maybe this draft isn't so good, but I think that we should keep going with this writer or go to a different writer to try to make it good. That would be, to me, advocating. I don't know if that's exactly your definition of advocating. I feel like you want me to say something, like I said something specific to Jeffrey.
I'd like to know if you did.
But I don't recall any particular statement I made to Jeffrey. But I can say generally within the context of meetings when we would talk about drafts on the project coming in, there would be discussion about whether or not this particular document from a writer achieved the goals that we needed it to achieve in order to get it to move forward. On some projects, we would receive a draft where it wasn't very good, and we determined, you know what, we're not going to continue with this project. That happens.
Okay.